unbroken.
Watch where you're thinking, the dead gives you anything. You build them up while they tear you down, but still you never give up. You never give up.
They would soak the fire as you hope to rise. It was mostly lies that you broke inside. I know it's all love, I just gotta complain. I got your back, we gon' rise to the flames. You be at it again.
Hey there, PPW Nation. We are glad you could tune in to this following matchup scheduled for one fall. I am Bobby Money Munson, and I'm joined, as always, by the man with the angelic voice. You know him as my video bro. He is Papa Smokes. Papa Smokes, how you doing?
I'm doing great, and how's the PPW Nation doing out there?
Well, hopefully they're lively and having fun and ready to get down with the individual, because we're being joined here by the individual Mike McSugar, who's going to be in singles competition. Papa Smokes, this should be a real cracker of a matchup, too. Mike McSugar has been on a roll in PPW. He is also one that should be, watched out for when it comes to this PPW Championship title tournament here. His matchup here tonight could dictate whether or not he ends up all the way in this one.
And he certainly is an individual. Look at this guy slithering out to the ring with some kind of plague bird mask on. He certainly is a unique individual.
He certainly is, but he definitely will have his work cut out for him here tonight. He has got quite a matchup on his hands. In fact, he's got one of Saskatoon's absolute favorites, everybody's favorite uncle, at least anyway, Uncle Phil Deadly, and a personal favorite of ours here at Papa Smokes too. And I say that because, you know what, Phil Deadly took the time to join us on Ring Respect Radio for a nice in-depth interview, and I had a great time talking to Phil. He is a great dude, and I gotta say, Mike McSugar, an excellent wrestler, an excellent individual, but you know what, dude, Phil Deadly, and because Phil Deadly is a good friend, I gotta say, I don't like to root particularly for one person, but I'll be rooting for Phil Deadly in this matchup.
That's fair enough, and Phil Deadly is one of the most popular wrestlers in PPW and in Saskatoon, so you can expect a roar from the crowd when he comes out.
Yeah, and that roar starting now. They absolutely love him. One thing they might not know about him, especially if they didn't check out that interview we did, is Phil Deadly is very world-traveled. This guy has gone to hone his craft in all sorts of areas around the world. He's been down to the U.S. for multiple bits of training all across Canada. He also, right before the pandemic hit, Phil Deadly went down to Mexico, where he was learning a little bit of the Lucha Libre style, brought in there by some of the Lucha Libre wrestlers who were ready to teach him, and he was fortunate enough to make it back here to Canada right before full lockdowns happened.
Yeah, and that was one thing about listening to Phil Deadly talk about his career, and if you've ever spoken to this man, he is a wrestling guy. He's been a fan since he was a small child. He's wanted to be a wrestler his entire life, and he's put himself through the sacrifices and the effort it takes to get into shape and into a training program and then into a federation for actual matches. Phil's been active in the Saskatoon scene for a number of years now and is a huge favorite.
Both these two individuals we know are former tag team champions, and both of them have been on the opposing teams fighting with those tag team titles on the line as well too. We've seen it many times before, but this is a different story. These are two individuals now, one-on-one competition. Both of them want to make their mark as single competitors, and no better way to do it than to make it to the next round of the Prairie Pro Wrestling Championship Tournament.
I think we're going to see a clash of ring styles here, Munson. You can already see that Mike McSugar likes to take things slow in the ring. He's very psychological, and he likes to take things slow. Phil, a little bit more high energy. He likes to go at a fast pace. So we're going to see who takes control of this match and what pace this match will work out to.
Yeah, you gotta love Phil Deadly now getting under the skin of Mike McSugar with that one. I absolutely love this man. What a great thing he's doing in there.
All right, now that the mind games are over, we're going to get some wrestling.
That's what you think, but it looks like a little bit still mind games going on for Mike McSugar there as he kind of slowly drives Phil Deadly's head into some nether regions of his wrestling gear, I guess. Mike McSugar really riling up the PPW Nation live here in Saskatoon. They always get quite worked up in a very negative way when Mike McSugar graces his presence inside the squared circle.
That's definitely true, but they also get very worked up for their favorite Uncle Phil, too, so McSugar isn't enjoying the support from the fans.
We just absolutely saw Phil Deadly with a hurricanrana there. Look at this coming from Phil Deadly, man. Uncle Phil is on fire, Papa Smokes.
Well, you did just mention his Mexico luchador training. It looks like he's remembered all that.
He brought it back with him, definitely bringing an arsenal that I'm sure even Mike McSugar wasn't prepared for here tonight. Phil Deadly looking fantastic in the squared circle. And yes, it was Phil Deadly who won his opening round matchup against the Cheetah Bear, Jude Dawkins, in a fantastic matchup between those two that saw Phil Deadly pull off the unexpected victory to make it to this here matchup. Mike McSugar, on the other hand, defeating Cannonball Kelly and that first round matchup of the PPW Championship Tournament and allowing himself to continue on. Both men bringing, as you said, Papa Smoke's different style here to the ring tonight, and who dictates the pace. So far, a lot of it has been Phil Deadly, but Mike McSugar using some of that intelligence and veteran-like skill to get to back outside the ring to gain his composure and get back in this one. And Phil Deadly trying to go for something on the outside there to Mike McSugar, but no, up and down onto the apron. Holy crap!
See, and this is what we wanted to see, is that McSugar leaving the ring, yelling at the fans, trying to slow down the pace of this match. Phil Deadly jumped out onto the apron and went for the attack, but that's what Mike McSugar was luring him into, and now he's turned the tables. Now we're going to get back in the ring, but this time with Mike McSugar on the offensive.
And again, Mike McSugar really riling up the PPW Nation here at ringside. And,
oh boy.
Is there an official name that you can call this move, Papa Smokes? I know you're the expert of the old-fashioned moves. You ever see something like that back in the day?
There is, but we can't say it on this broadcast.
I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Mike McSugar actually refers to that maneuver as the pin you wish you were in. I don't know if that's in name only or if anybody in the PPW Nation actually ever fantasizes about being in that. But you know what? If you do ever fantasize about being in that particular maneuver, maybe getting into pro wrestling is right for you, and you should join the Prairie Pro Wrestling Academy and learn to become a professional wrestler so you can join the PPW roster one day.
Damn, Munson, that was one hell of a segue.
I've been doing a little practicing over the COVID time here, Papa Smokes. I've had a lot of time to think about the commentary and how to segue things in. And hey, every year we get a little bit better at doing this stuff.
Now here's McSugar's getting ready for another one of his special moves here. He's got his rubber glove, which he's already taken off and used to his advantage in this match.
You think McSugar's often accustomed to taking the rubber off before the finish?
Speaking of things we shouldn't say on this broadcast.
Bobby's getting us canceled. Here we go.
Hey, it's hard to call a Mike McSugar match and just use polite language the entire time because he does some rude stuff in there.
What he does do as well is wrestle very well. Mike McSugar, a very good, great veteran inside that squared circle, knows how to handle his business in there. and definitely looking to end this thing as soon as possible. Phil Deadly catching the knee of Mike McSugar. And I fear for what's coming in Phil's way. Phil trying to get that boot up, and oh my goodness. Mike McSugar's got him right where we want him. We've seen this many times before. This is absolutely devastating, Papa Smokes. If this connects, it could be all over. Up and over, dropping that elbow. Gets the legs over into the pin, but still, Phil Deadly finding it in himself to kick out. Phil Deadly definitely wants to move on in this Prairie Pro Wrestling Championship tournament, and he is not going to lay down easily for Mike McSugar.
What a devastating move, too, but that pin is also a very tight pin that would have been difficult for anyone to kick out of, and Uncle Phil really showing his desire by getting out of that one.
And what is Mike McSugar up to here? Get on with the match, Mike. No, come on. I am disgusted, Papa Smokes. There is no need for that inside of a professional wrestling ring.
Oh, you can hear the audience doesn't want any part of this. My God.
Not enough to put Phil Deadly away. I don't know, maybe Phil would have been better off just letting Mike have this one after all that. I'm not sure, but Phil Deadly definitely, the gold means everything to him, and he's not going to worry about whatever antics it is that Mike McSugar is going to pull off there inside the ring.
Well, it just might light a fire under Phil Deadly. We've seen that happen with a few of Mike McSugar's other opponents too, is that some of his antics enrage them to a point where they get into a rage and start offensive maneuvers too. I think Phil Deadly's kind of had it with some of these underhanded tactics.
And going for that superplex, but Phil Deadly blocking it. Holding on to that rope, make sure he doesn't go up and over. And using the head very wisely there to take Mike McSugar down. As Mike McSugar gets back to his feet, Phil Deadly perched on that top rope. Nice cross body there, beautifully executed. Phil Deadly, come on, get over there and cover him.
If he could have landed on him in a pinning position, that might have been it. 1, 2, 3 right there. But Phil Deadly's still trying to get his faculties back from the beating he's taken over the last couple minutes from Mike McSugar.
Well, seeing as I'm all about throwing out puns, Papa Smokes, I think that crossbody was too damn deadly from Uncle Phil there. Beautiful maneuver there from Uncle Phil. Brings the dropkick down to the knees. This is a whole different Uncle Phil Deadly here tonight. This is something else, Papa Smokes. I'm excited. Finish him off, Phil.
Wow, that diving dropkick to the corner, that really connected with McSugar. He's scrambling now.
Holding on for dear life. Phil Deadly trying to pull him back in, more central to the ring. Phil Deadly might be looking to end this once and for all. Excellently executed there. Cover him, Phil. Jeez, Mike McSugar kicks out just before the count of 3, and this thing is still on.
Veteran resiliency there, too. Mike McSugar knew his position in the ring, and he knew he had to kick out of that pinning attempt, or he would be going home out of this championship tournament.
Phil Deadly once again climbing those ropes. Definitely been using the ropes to his advantage here tonight. Something we don't often see from Phil Deadly, but definitely working in his favor here. Going for that crossbody again, but man, the strength of Mike McSugar to catch him dead in the air like that. Oh my goodness, devastating impact on that one. Rolling him over for the cover. And not enough to finish off Phil Deadly here tonight.
And not a lot behind that kick out either. Phil Deadly really took the brunt of that last maneuver, and he's in a lot of trouble.
But Mike McSugar devastated that he didn't finish him off there. He needs to start taking advantage of this one now. Phil Deadly in a bad place. And he's going for the full Nelson lock here. And Phil fighting it, jamming that arm down to try to break the hold. He is broken free from it. and throws a beautiful right hook and knee straight to the chops of Mike McSugar. Great enziguri. Come on, Phil, cover his ass. 2.5 once again. Geez, what is it going to take here tonight?
McSugar slow on the kick out now too. These guys have absorbed a lot of punishment throughout this match, and you got to think that in the next couple sequences of moves, somebody's going to take that 3 count.
This is the kind of exciting competition that you get only here from Western Canadian professional wrestlers, especially in Prairie Pro Wrestling. So thank you to everybody who continues to support independent wrestling right here in Western Canada. Oh, beautiful drop there. Phil Deadly has got Mike McSugar reeling.
Shades of Arn Anderson with that spine buster.
And what are we getting from Phil here?
We're getting deadly.
Reminiscence of The Rock possibly, but Mike McSugar was not going to stay down long enough for that to happen. Hits that beautiful drop kick, and Mike McSugar looks like he is all business now, Papa Smokes.
He looks like he's got it in his mind to finish this match.
Oh, man, drops straight down on the head, the cover. And that is it. Mike McSugar victorious here tonight, and will be going on to the semifinals of the Prairie Pro Wrestling Championship Tournament. Again, what a very good competitive match that we had here tonight, and kudos to Phil Deadly for giving Mike McSugar the fight of his life.
And that package pile, oh my God. That package pile driver that Mike McSugar finished off Phil Deadly with was absolutely devastating. I hope Phil's alright from that.
And Mike McSugar having to get a taste of that ring apron afterwards, and those ropes as well too. I mean, you and I both know where that apron and those ropes have been, Papa Smokes. I'm not so sure that with what we know about the passing of germs these days, that was the smartest maneuver for Mike McSugar.
I don't think Mike McSugar thinks about that or cares about it. He looks like some kind of an insane zombie tonight, and yeah, he's giving it to these fans here, and they're not having it from him, but they got to accept that Mike McSugar moves on in the PPW Championship Tournament.
He sure does, as he continues to get under the skin of the PPW Nation on his way back, and we thank each and every one of you for tuning into this matchup and for supporting us here at Prairie Pro Wrestling. Again, make sure if you're watching this and you haven't checked it out, May 28th is when the finals of the tournament takes place. Could Mike McSugar be one of the two in that tournament? You'll have to stay tuned to find out.